Today we'll be talking about malagan art, but specifically this mask. It was created by the people of the New Ireland province in Papua New Guinea, which is shown here on the map. This area is very diverse, speaking more than 30 distinct languages. Because of this diversity, there are several kinds of masks and different functions for each mask. The artist of this mask is unknown.
The malagan mask incorporates many images or motives from the specific clan that made this mask unique in its own way. They also incorporate animal and human figures referring to the clan's founding myths and the person's unique kinship history in their clan.
The masks are made by the natives. In the malagan mask, their teeth are always showing and their mouth is always open. In the mask, they use the colors black, white, red, and brown as well. The masks were carved three-dimensionally. The mask loosely represents the face of the individual. It also has geometric designs and expressive elements. At the base, it has a rock cod. Special carvers were hired to make the specific designs onto the mask. The carver would carve images from his dream onto the mask. During this time, the carver would be secluded from everyone in order to make the mask. The high-quality materials were used because the masks were made for the people of higher wealth.
This mask's height is 42 centimeters. It has a length of 40 centimeters and a width of 19 centimeters. The mask is very large compared to regular masks because they portrayed the soul of the ancestor and had to be very flamboyant. It had to show the power and strength of the ancestor's soul. To illustrate, it has a large hair comb that was a very popular hairstyle of the time and showed power and strength.
These masks were used for ceremonial purposes to celebrate their ancestors that had died. Once the family of the deceased had enough materials, they would invite the rest of the village to the ceremony. These materials included pigs for sacrifice, taro, and traditional shell money, which is called meat. Hundreds or even thousands of villagers gathered around to see the dances and rituals being performed. The masks were usually worn by a male. The ceremonies were coordinated by a cultural leader known as a mai. He would gather everyone to ensure that they all saw the rituals. Then he would make sure they all paid for seeing and experiencing them and ate before leaving. At the end, he supervised the mandatory exchange of meat and paper money between the family and others who supported them in grieving.
The funerary mask was used in funerary festivals where they would feast, and ceremonies could last from months to years. During the ceremony, many people were celebrated at the same time because it was expensive.
Also, the likely patron was the family of the deceased person who they wanted to honor. The masks were important to the funerary ceremonies in Papua New Guinea.
Other people can experience these ceremonies, but it is generally just the villagers and family there. It connects to the patron and other people in these villages because they personally knew those who died.
The Malagan people believed that the souls went into the masks and stayed in for the ceremony. When the ceremony was over, they passed into the afterlife and the masks were destroyed. In the Malagan culture, masks were a big part of the afterlife.
The composition of this figure is more static due to it not having any diagonal lines. Another work that has a similar function like the malagan mask is the reliquary of Saint Foy. A reliquary is a container for holy relics, usually containing bones or body parts of the important person. This reliquary is of a young girl martyred in the early 4th century for refusing to sacrifice to the Roman gods in a pagan ritual. Her skull is housed in the head of the reliquary. It contains many jewels, gems, and crowns, added over time by the people who visited. It is similar to the malagan mask in that they are both used in festivals to honor the deceased, with thousands of the community with them to appreciate who this person was. This mask was used in these villages to connect with one another and help each other honor people in a celebratory way. And I think that is what makes this mask very special.